Brilliance.
I won't pause for very long when they show their draws. It's just to show kind of the root of the day, and you can just keep talking. I'll just be here
Ben, are
for
you
5
ready?
seconds. Okay. And then I'll move
You all
to the
rested
video.
up with your 2-hour break and your 20-year-old human growth hormone immune system? Okay, are you ready to get these players fired up? Because I know I am.
in front of us right now. Here we go. 0-0. We're underway. Ben Johns, Tyson McGuffin. There we go. And we saw earlier today, Dave Weinbach, that it seemed as though McGuffin was able to predict where Johns was going to go on those sneaky little shots from the kitchen line. And but toward the end of their earlier match, Ben changed things up a little bit here, and that predictability wasn't so predictable.
Yeah, and on that previous point, you know, Ben held that backhand as long as he possibly could to see if McGuffin was going to kind of show his hand, and he did. And Ben can just as easily flick that backhand cross court right on cue, Ben. It's like he's listening, and you heard me, Mark.
It's a great chance to hit that share button so other people can see this great action. Two of the best players in our sport. 3-0. Ben Johns out to an early lead here in this best 2 out of 3 contest for gold. Dave, what do you think? Is the sun becoming a factor at this time of day here?
Not yet, but if this goes a long time, that's going to sail wide.
Start to see a few shadows coming in from the grandstand that was installed here on what was previously a tennis court. This has now been converted into a permanent pickleball court, at least for this tournament. They repainted the court, put in these beautiful temporary nets from C&D pickleball nets. I mean, they're temporary, but they're so solid, Dave.
Yeah. Mark, to what extent do you think it's going to come into play that McGuffin had to play that extra match in the bronze match against Loong in terms of stamina and fitness, or do you see that not being much of an issue as we look to this gold medal match?
I mean, it's always so tough to tell.
These guys are in such great shape.
McGuffin is incredibly fit, as is Johns. I mean, they've been putting work in at the gym for exactly this situation. I know it looks like it's going to be a fault, but then he steps over. Tyson, you'll see really deliberate pre-serve preparation. Sometimes looks initially that he might be having a foot fault by being too close to the tee there, but almost always he'll then take a little step out of the way, so he's fine, especially on the right-hand side. 1-4. 4-1.
And that was a good forehand swing at that pass and just clips the tape. Yeah, that's a great setup shot. Mark, interesting that we have this matchup in the final. One of the interesting things about these two players is I personally think they have the 2 best serves in the entire game of pickleball, but I also think they have the 2 best returns of serve in the game. And when you put those 2 skills together, and as you know, those are such important skills in singles. Much more emphasis in singles on those 2 shots than in doubles.
Yeah, I mean, how you start the point matters, whether you're serving or receiving, because it doesn't dictate, well, I mean, it doesn't totally determine how the point's going to go, but it does influence it one way or the other. If you start the point off well, things tend to go your way, and if you start it off poorly or thoughtlessly, usually you're not rewarded. We see a nice return of serve that's low to the backhand side there from McGuffin. We will see, we saw one before, a lob serve occasionally thrown in by McGuffin. He did have some success earlier. Here's another lob serve there by changing up the rhythm, and once again gets an unforced error from Johns with that slow high ball. It's kind of like a baseball pitcher throwing in a changeup once in a while.
Pickleball friends out there, you know, when you're serving, change up spins, change up height, change up locations. Don't be a predictable server. Keep your opponent on guard. Oh, terrific. Tracked down by McGuffin. John's in total control at this point, though.
McGuffin not liking his shot selection there. So much of playing great pickleball is about making the right choices, especially when you're under the kind of pressure both these players will be. It's sometimes tempting to make different kind of choice, one that might be surprising, but if that's also a low percentage shot, might be better off going with a higher percentage that's more predictable and trying to battle your way.
So that'll bring a side out to McGuffin, serving at 3-4. here in Game 1 of this gold medal match at the inaugural Professional Pickleball Association tournament here in Mesa, Arizona.
So that would be the first time. You asked before about sort of fitness and fatigue. I would have expected, he looked like he was going for it, Tyson, after playing that drop, expecting the down the line dink. I would have expected him to jump the corner and hit that ball more aggressively. Looked like he didn't just get there quite in time to do it, had to play something more defensive, and Ben Johns took advantage. 5-3.
And you make a good point, Mark, because you can't consistently execute good shots if your body is not in the proper position to get prepared to hit the shot. So footwork and movement is so important.
I mean,
in this game, and much obviously more in singles, there's more of an emphasis on it.
Yeah, but you can have the nicest swing in all of pickleball, and if you can't set up well to the ball, you can't use that beautiful swing. So it's true, we often emphasize, the hitting aspect of it. That's sort of the sexy part of pickleball, is when they hit that ball. What we don't always emphasize enough, I think, is the importance of moving to get set up, to put yourself in a position to hit that quality shot.
As that quality shot of Tyson McGuffin deep to the Johns forehand, and Johns forehand sails wide. I think that ball was...
That ball catches the line.
Caught the last eighth. 4-5 here in Game 1. McGuffin going for the lob serve at the body. As we talked about earlier, that lob serve pretty effective in their earlier matchup about 2 hours ago, and that's why we see Tyson go into that early on in this match. Historically, McGuffin rarely ever puts loft on the serve like that. That might curve in. No, it stays wide by a ball.
Tim Housley was asking about the prize money for this. $1,000 for the winner, $600 for the silver medalists. And Tyler Loon, who got bronze, he'll go home with $400, and that's the prize money. Players will very often have clauses in their sponsor contracts where there may be incentive money attached to it. I know with Tyson McGuffin and his team at Selkirk, that is definitely part of the package. So it'll be whatever the prize money is here, plus any additional money players have negotiated.
Yeah. He held that a long time, and he saw that McGuffin lean to his left, and then pulled that ball all across his body to McGuffin's right side of his court, and that brings us to 6-4. I think that's going to sail out. Great driving, penetrating volley by McGuffin deep to the Johns forehand. Another lob serve, Mark, this time to the Johns backhand.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good, there's an example. McGuffin trying to be aggressive, taking that ball out of the air, wanted to play it down the line and give Johns less time to set up. Just couldn't quite get there in time. And I expect, Dave, we're going to see, what's sometimes known as a walking timeout here, where Tyson might take his time a little bit to go get that ball. Not take a timeout, but give himself a little chance to get a breather here as the better rested
around the
Johns.
post. Yeah, Tyson expected it. Tyson was there, and he just framed it.
All right. And with that point, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more here. This Jigsaw Health Hydration break. Back in a second here on Center Court.
I've tried a lot of other products, plenty of electrolyte mixes. They either contain some sort of sugar in them or something to give you a boost for a little while, but eventually it runs out.
Jigsaw products help me stay competitive. They help me stay energized.
It's helped me become a better player.
Jigsaw helps me recover faster.
I think all of you need Jigsaw Health in your life. And you know why?
It's fun to feel good.
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 It's fun to feel good. Cheers.
And we're back live on Championship Court. Quick shout out to Tyson's mom, Cheryl McGuffin, watching her son competing here for gold, as that
gonna
ball
sail
sails
long.
a little bit long. We're at 430. I believe we can get at least a 500, no problem. But we're gonna need your help, folks. Hit that share button, please. Let other people see that you're watching so they can enjoy this too. Just takes a second. You are right, John Moore. You are incredibly fortunate. You've been able to watch high-quality, world-class pickleball with great production values. This is because of the PPA tournament, as well as the team at ProPickleball Media, with assistance from Steve Taylor and Digital Spatula. And this is going to be the team that's bringing you this broadcast quality for all of the events at the PPA, and also using this great Logitech audio-video equipment as well. That ball gets past McGuffin. That was
Tyson calling that in.
Ben John's looking pretty comfortable here, Dave, as we're nearing the end of game number 1.
He seems a lot fresher. Of course, McGuffin just had to play 2 extra games. Nice return.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
I mean,
rare,
yeah,
easy forehand miss by McGuffin.
and being fresher. I mean, I don't want anyone to misconstrue this. This is no slight against Tyson or his fitness. This guy works harder than anyone else in the gym. But it is true, when you do have to go through more matches and spend more time on court, it's, it's not an even playing field. All right, quick hydration break. We're going to be back in a second with more here on Championship Court.
Slightly favored backhand. But hand-eye coordination.
All right, 15 seconds.
Ready?
Give it up for Ben and Tyson.
You have one time up remaining. You have both of them.
Game point here. Ben John's serving goes deep to the backhand of McGuffin. Tyson guesses right, but can't keep that ball low enough. And there's game number 1, 11-4. Ben John's looking comfortable, looking confident. We're going to be back with game number 2 coming up here on Championship Court. Mark Renneson, Dave Weinbach. You're watching the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier from Mesa, Arizona.
But it ain't over. I'm sure Tyson has a little something to say about that in game 2.
So between Third Shot Sports, the Pickleball Lab, and Pickleball Coaching International, we got you covered.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about, so you've been to one. Here comes the big drop. Are you ready? Okay, Ben, come on, Tyson. Let's give these fans a battle.
That's pretty close. We are live here on Championship Court. You've been watching Tyson McGuffin. You've been watching Tyson McGuffin along with Ben Johns here in this championship gold medal match. Denise Betchtold was saying, I don't know all the singles rules. Well, here's what you need to know, Denise. The rules in singles pickleball are the exact same as in doubles pickleball. The whole 2-bounce rule, that's the same. The whole non-volley zone rules, those are the same. The one difference is that because you're all by yourself, there's no second server. So once you lose your serve, it's going to be a side out. And if you have an even score, you serve from the right-hand side of the court, and an odd score, you serve from the left. Anything I'm missing, Dave?
I think you covered it in a nutshell in less than 20 seconds, which is difficult to do. Okay, that's 2-0 here in game 2. And McGuffin is on the run. McGuffin looks a little bit out of sorts here. You know, Mark, confidence is a very, very sensitive thing here in any sport, but it's incredible in pickleball how quickly momentum can change and confidence can change. One shot can do it. And I think if you remember how this game started, with a Ben Johns forehand painting the line, and then we got a little comment from Tyson. I think it affected his mentality. Let's see if he can recover mentally. And that's not going to do it. If I were Tyson here, I would call a timeout and try to regroup here. Physically, I think he's okay. I think it's the mental part of the situation that I'm concerned about for him right now. Seeing some non-verbal here that doesn't look so great. So the crowd is trying to cheer up Tyson here. They want to see more pickleball. They want to see a real competitive match. He's got the ball in his hands. Let's see if he can put a point on the board right here.
Going at that, he realizes he's got pretty much no hope.
That is not going to do it. I'm really surprised he didn't call a timeout, Mark, as Ben was making that 5-0 run.
5-0.
Ben John serving at 6-0 here in game number 2. He won game number 1. It's going to be an uphill battle for McGuffin here.
Let's see if McGuffin can really dig down. You know, there's not a more competitive person in sports that I've seen than Tyson McGuffin. I can't see the guy with any give-up, Mark. He is such a competitor, and he's so motivated and driven. That's one of the things I love about him. It's not just the physical skills that's going to sail along. It's the mental and the drive and the motivation. And Tyson is such a great athlete. He's so driven. There is no doubt he is going to push and compete as hard as he can here. And there we go. And let's see if this kind of gets his mojo going here, Mark.
That ball clips off the top of the net. That stays in play. Crowd likes it. Just a reminder, this is just the first of 7 tour stops on the PPA Tour.
Was that on? Was that on?
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Slapped the winner. You did? Okay. DJ Pickles.
Tyson says, bring on the music. I just slapped a winner. All right. He's got it to 4-6 here. He's back in this game, Mark, both physically and I think mentally. Let's see if he can keep this going.
There's the read.
Oh, he almost got that. It was coming back. If he would have put a little bit more air under that ball and got some more time, it was curving back in the court. Great hustle by Tyson. Ben's got the ball back at 6-4 here in game 2. Of course, Johns took game 1. Oh, that's just too good of a pass by Johns with the inside-out forehand and a much-needed break here from McGuffin.
Right, this hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. Back in a minute.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first US Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
All right, what's the next event? Is it?
DJ Pickle would like to apologize for the stray note that popped out of the DJ stand there. You can fire me later.
And we're back here live on Championship Court.
Let's go, boys. Here we go. Give it up for them.
All right, I'm posting right now the link to the next PPA event. That's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to want to check that one out. Whether you want to come as a player, a spectator, or if you have to watch online, you can do that too.
So next month we're in March, folks, and then in early April we're going to be in Dallas, Texas area at the McKinney Tennis Center. And that follows in May. We're going to be back in this area, Mark, in Scottsdale, Arizona at the JW Marriott. So the fun just continues, folks. If you didn't get to join us here at our inaugural PPA event, please make it a family vacation and experience this great pickleball as a player and a fan, Mark.
That's right. I'll be with you in Dallas. 6-7 is the score. Tyson McGuffin trying to get something going here. Ben Johns.
Wow.
Tyson goes into the fence. Ben Johns is going to try to keep the pressure on here. Doesn't want to let Tyson come back. He knows how dangerous he can be. Here's one of those walking timeouts I was talking about. Tyson just somehow didn't quite get that ball over the net. It's tough. It's tough.
You know, to Tyson's credit, Mark, he really battled back in this game. He got down 6-0. It was not looking good. The nonverbal was not looking good. I think his confidence was shaken. And as we talked about, he is such a gritty competitor. There is just no give up in this guy. Ben's going to get that. Oh, nice anticipation there by Tyson. Oh, that's great pickleball. I think, Mark, if McGuffin had his Fitbit on, I think we'd be at 20,000 steps, and we've only played a game and a half.
All right, well, why don't we go back to the tape? We'll go count his steps, and we'll be back in a minute after this quick break. Mark and Dave here in Mesa. All right, we are back live here. Championship Court, 8-6. Ben Johns serving. He's 3 points away from taking the gold medal here. Make that 2 points away. Not a lot. Even Tyson at his best, it's going to be tough to defend against that.
I mean, that was a good return. That was a good return. Low and hard to the Johns backhand, and he ripped a two-hander cross court. Uh-oh. That's an issue. I think I heard a sound that usually means a timeout,
yeah,
Mr. Renneson.
We'll stay here through this break as we remind people of the many sponsors that made it possible to run this great event here. You're seeing some of them on these great commercials. Other ones to let you know about: Onyx Pickleball, Vulcan Pickleball, Paddletech, ProKenix, K-Swiss, Creamy's Ice Cream, Durafast 40 is the official ball of the PPA, Jigsaw Health, Selkirk Sport, Pickleball Central, and me over at Third Shot Sports. We're one of the official sponsors here of the Pro Pickleball Association. Thanks to all the companies who make it possible. It is an expensive event here to put this on. More than $550,000 in prize money. Got to pay for it somehow, and really appreciate all those sponsors contributing to make that possible. If you liked what you saw here, be sure to support those companies. Spend your money with them, or at a minimum, send them an email and tell them that you appreciate them supporting this great tour.
There we go. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
10-6.
All right, he's still alive here. A side out to bring it to